Good afternoon, folks. This is your ticker guy coming at you from wonderful Niceville, Florida. I want to play a short excerpt of a clip that has Dennis Kneale in it ranting about bloggers. Just a little bit because I don't want to infringe on CNBC's copyrights. You can go over to the actual ticker entry where the entire thing is embedded. Here we go.
Do you believe in your country or not? Do you believe you live in the greatest nation on earth with the most innovative people and the hardest working? Do you believe America has the greatest technology and, yes, even the best system of government and regulation?
All right, now let's talk about this for a minute, Dennis. You say that we are nihilists and want to promote the end of the world, or at least the end of American capitalism. You think that it's wrong for us to be commenting about the Dow possibly going down to 3,000. By the way, I think that the S&P 500 could reach a value of less than 200. And you say that this is somehow doom and gloom hatred and that it has values less than in the 1970s. Well, let me point something out to you, Mr. Kneale. I just want to ask you one question. What is the asset value on the books of Citibank right now? How about Bank of America? How about Wachovia? Oh, wait a minute, that's not Wachovia anymore, that's Wells Fargo. How about Wells Fargo? Do we have any idea what those banks are actually worth, what those assets are actually worth? No, we don't have any idea. But this much we do know. We know that First Guarantee and Chorus both filed quarterly reports disclosing negative tier capital ratios, that is, formally bankrupt under their mark-to-fantasy accounting, and one of them is still operating. We know that the FDIC called Colonial well-capitalized just a very short time before they seized them, and when they were seized, BB&T said their valuations were 37% below where Colonial had those assets marked. Now, as you probably know, the banking system operates on what's called fractional reserves. That is, they only have a very small, tiny little amount of capital for all the loans that they have out. Why is this a problem? Because if there are 37% losses embedded in these banks, if there are even 10% losses embedded in some of these banks, maybe even as little as 5%, because of all the games that have been played over the years after Alan Greenspan brought in sweep accounts and all of the other nonsense that goes on with the reserves, every one of these institutions is bankrupt. Right here, right now, period. You do not know. I do not know. Nobody knows because everyone is lying. But every time that we get some piece of the truth, whether it be Colonial, whether it be IndyMac, whether it be any of these other institutions, every single time we get some piece of the truth, we find out that there has been massive hiding of losses. Every last time. Dick Fuld comes on your air and says he is going to burn the shorts, and a short time later, whose shorts get burned? His. Bear Stearns' CEO comes on CNBC and says we are well capitalized just a few days before the company implodes. How much more of it, Dennis, are you going to tolerate? What is the value of a corporation that has a bunch of debt on its books that is not worth what they say it is when they are levered up 10, 15, 20 to 1? That corporation is worth bupkis. Zero. Even the basest of idiot knows that if you have 10 times leverage and you have a 10% loss, you are bankrupt. Done. Kaput. Gone. Zero. Yet none of these institutions that have been taken over, not one, has had a loss ratio under 10%. Not one. So, Dennis, when are you going to come out and say, America became great because we stand for the rule of law. America became great because we stand for the truth. America is the land of the free and free to fail. America is the land of capitalism, but America is not the land of lies, deceit, fraud, misdirection, and BS. When, Dennis? I'll tell you when. Never. Because your corporate parent, General Electric, is one of those financial companies that has a bunch of that crap laying around on their books, and I don't know how to value it either. I would love to buy the stock of a bunch of American companies that have financial exposure and sit on it for the next 20 years. Invest for the long haul. Remember Larry Kudlow's creed? I'd love to do that. But I cannot and will not, nor can I recommend that anyone else do so until I can honestly evaluate the balance sheet of every single firm listed on a public stock exchange in this country. Period. And until your network and all of the others come out and stand strongly behind mark-to-market accounting and an end to the fraud in our financial system, we are at risk of a meltdown. There are tens of thousands of homes that will foreclose in Orange County alone in California. Not might foreclose, will foreclose. And none of those losses, Dennis, have been recognized. Wake up and smell the coffee, buddy. There's a reason people call you Beaker. Or is it Barker? Have a good day.